Guys, welcome back. It's Stretchy Saturday, 30 minutes on the clock. We're just stretching. Get some sunlight today, be kind to yourself. I'm not a stretch specialist. I don't really know necessarily all my stretches well, but I do it because I'm trying to test myself. I'm trying to let my body unfold from all that tension I put on it this week. Yes, I am wearing the same shorts as I did yesterday. I'm a little gross, but they don't smell bad. You know, if it doesn't smell bad, who cares, right? Maybe I washed them. You don't know that. Okay, we're just here today to stretch a little bit, 30 minutes. Like I said, this is not pre-planned, so I'm really just going into a lot of stretches I like. I'm gonna do a stretch from last week, bird dog, that I'm gonna go into more detail. I'm gonna alternate them instead of holding them. Got a great recommendation from somebody through the YouTube, so I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna start standing up. I'm gonna do like my first probably 5 to 10 minutes standing up, and then we're gonna do the rest from the ground. But these standing up stretches, I'm really just putting some tension in the top of my hands here. And I'm just gonna try to stretch through my lats right down here. I'll start with the right first. Put some music on, find your happy place. It's Saturday, we deserve it. I'm gonna go cut the yard after this, get a bunch of sunlight. I'm just going left and right for just a few seconds at a time. The main thing I want from you today is just give your body some love. Maybe the stretches don't feel great, but push yourself, just ask a little bit, let that tension out. I'm just going left and right. Now I'm gonna hold to the right for just like 10 seconds or so. All it is 30 minutes to show some love. That's why I do it. That's why you should do it. I'll probably talk a little bit just to keep the time going. I'm gonna have a little podcast tomorrow that'll hopefully be more focused on a topic. I think I'm gonna go into injuries and talking about the importance of protecting yourself and just being kind to yourself. Because ultimately this journey, if you're starting it from scratch, maybe you're like me, I was pretty sedentary. I'm putting my hands out in front of me now, just kind of trade that tension in my back here. But if you're like me, I started my journey 5 years ago, very sedentary, hadn't done anything probably heavily for over 3 or 4 years. And so my first 60 days were a nightmare. So I'll go into detail on that in the podcast and we'll talk about it. I'm gonna take my hands around back now, trying to press my fingertips to the ground, extending through my chest, letting that back and that chest really expand. That back and that chest got a lot of work this week, so we need to give it some time to reset. All I can recommend, guys, take your walks every day. I walk about 2 hours a day with my dog and my girlfriend. It's the most rewarding part of my day, just to talk, reflect, and let my mind kind of wander. Get some sunlight. If you're not gonna walk, at least get some sunlight. Ooh, I'm feeling it right now. Good, good. I'm gonna do some triceps here, taking that right arm, extending it down. But please get some sunlight, show yourself some love. Be kind to yourself. I know I say this a lot, I kind of repeat myself a lot, but it's a reminder I have to give myself because I'm very hard on myself. I was very critical of myself when I started my fitness journey, and a lot of my fitness journey has developed and grown so much because of the grace and the just patience I've given myself. And you need to give it to yourself as well. This isn't easy. This is 4.5 years of work for me to get to this point, just to be able to instruct you. It's not overnight. I'm gonna switch over to my left. Just stretching out those triceps, pulling my elbow down, nice and easy. Be careful. Maybe you got a bad shoulder like me. I'm gonna go into some detail about my bad shoulder in the podcast tomorrow. I pulled this right shoulder out 7 times through the past 10 years. And I'll kind of talk about how that was a huge hindrance for me and why it's so important to do these stretches and why it's so important to keep showing back up every week. Build that muscle, build that stability. Ooh, come back up with that arm. Excellent. Let's just do some arm crosses. Right over left. Just barely pulling. Don't try to extend too much. We're just getting the back and body nice and warmed up. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you today. Day 34, 34 days of commitment. Can you do it? Because we're gonna do it again in just a week. But for now, we're just gonna settle on this first 35 days, enjoy it, live it up. Don't know why I chose 5 weeks, just seems right. But yeah, I'm gonna try to bring some more dynamic, diversified workouts to you. I'm gonna basically add on to the workouts we're doing. I'm just doing some big arm circles now, going forward. And then maybe in a second, I'm gonna take them slow and nice and small. Nice little tiny arm circles. Just feeling it through your arms. The biggest thing about stretching, or more specifically yoga maybe, this isn't meant to be yoga, but obviously it should all lead into yoga practices. It's about a self-discovery, figuring out where your body's at, where it needs to go. I'm gonna do backwards arm circles now, big backwards arm circles. And really figuring out where your body needs attention, you know? I say love, but yeah, where it needs attention, where you need to focus on getting better, where you're hurting, where you're tight every week. Ooh, let's go backwards tiny now. And like I was just mentioning at the beginning, I do all of this kind of off the top of my head. I need to probably do like a full stretch write out, but I kind of specialize in calisthenic workouts, so I'm just trying to keep my specialty there, and then I like to just stretch for fun. So at any point in this workout, you just want to do your own stretches, do your own stretches. I'm going to take those hands back around back, just pull that chest open one more time. Be careful here, don't hurt yourself. Ooh. Let's do a nice little back bend. I'm going to keep my hands prayer, I'm going to send them up straight, pressing my arms forward, and then I'm just going to barely bend back, letting my spine kind of round with my arms. Good. Maybe you want to do it forward now. Pressing through that core, feel it through your core. Like I said, we're going to take this first half, maybe the first 10 minutes or so, standing up, but then we'll get to the ground in just a second. Ooh. Now I'm bending back again, bend back into it. But back to the self-discovery, guys. Just figure out where you're hurting. Figure out what you need to work on. There's plenty of YouTube videos helping you specialize on certain strains and stretches that you need. You might be tight in some areas. You might be weak in some areas. There's a difference between a strain and weakness. And that's a big part of why I like to do the stretch. Helps me figure out where I'm weak and where I'm strong. I'm gonna start in a nice just squat here, sitting back into my heels. Maybe you wanna bring those feet in a little bit. I've been noticing my squats are really wide. I'm trying to bring them in a little bit. But just focus on your form. Sitting in, keeping those toes off the ground. I'm just gonna hold a squat for just a second. And in just a moment, I'm gonna let those legs release and I'm gonna go to a front fold. Oh man, I feel it in my back. Be kind to yourself this weekend. And when I say be kind, I mostly mean be easy on your vices. I know I'm gonna have some fun tonight, do some stuff, but I'm gonna make sure I just do a little bit of it. I'm gonna try to be as present as possible, even though it does make me disassociate. But that's part of it. You know, I've had a big week, done a lot. Now it's time to relax, time to decompress. And then we'll get back to all of it Sunday. Coming out of that front fold nice and slow. Let's just do a right lunge. In this right lunge, you're gonna sit into the right hip, slowly sitting into a chair, mostly just with your right side, and you're gonna let that left side extend out. But take it easy on your drugs and your habits. All the junk food, all the processed food, all the different drugs you might be putting in your body this weekend, they all go to your head. And that's why I'm on this journey. That's why I started this moderation journey, is I started kind of losing myself in my vice. And part of this journey of training you is to help me stay present, help me understand my training and how I want to help, how I want to make you see that if you give yourself moderation, you can really grow. Putting in 5, even 6 days a week of that moderation is going to help you grow so much. Sit into that right side just a little bit more. Take it easy here. Let's come back center. We're going to stretch center for just a moment, and then we're going to go to that left side. Whew, back up to the left. Sit into that left side. You should kind of feel it in the inside of your thigh here. I know I worked those abductors yesterday. Just stay focused with me. Put on some good music, put on a podcast, whatever feels right. Just take some time to stretch. Ooh, I feel it. That is nice. Let's do a few more standing stretches before we start getting into the ground. I'm gonna do, this is kind of a dynamic one, so don't, if it's too tough, kind of just maybe go up and down on that knee, but I'm gonna cross my knee over. I'm gonna try to sit in, working that hip flexor. Just hold it for a few seconds. Do as much as you can. Anytime you wobble, lose strength, just reset, restart. You're doing great. In 3 and 2, I'm gonna switch over, try the other side for a little bit. Highly recommend doing all of your stuff barefoot. We're humans, we're made to do stuff barefoot. I know tennis shoes seem pretty awesome. I learned my lesson from the gentleman who runs Squat University on YouTube and Instagram and all the different apps. He's given me a great lesson about how our feet are made to be spread out and wide. And I've spent the past couple years trying to find barefoot shoes and just not wear shoes as often, just so my feet will stay spread out and wide. And it makes all these workouts, these calisthenics, much easier when you have much more control of a natural foot. The modern tennis shoe industry, unfortunately, is made to look sleek, fancy. It's not made for real feet. I'm not gonna call out anybody specifically because they all suck. All right, let's just do some nice snow angel standing before we get to the ground. Feel through that body. Where are you hurting right now? What needs some love? What needs to release tension? At any point you feel it, get to that stretch, whatever that stretch may be. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, but I'm gonna try to give you some resolution, give you some options to look for. I'm gonna do a nice little frog stretch lunge. I did it yesterday, ending the walk leg workout. Maybe just start in plank first. We'll start in plank. And give yourself a second. When you have a moment, I'm gonna take my foot, put it on the outside of my hands. Maybe you need to put your hands a little bit closer. And I'm just gonna extend through, flexing those legs, feeling it through my hip flexors here. The best medicine today, obviously, is this stretching, but really it's sunlight. If you have sunlight, even if it's cloudy, there's still sunlight. Go get sunlight. Your body needs sunlight. I used to take vitamin D because I used to not go outside, and I realized I could just go outside. And then I started going outside, and guess what? I don't take vitamin D anymore. Take a moment, come out of this stretch nice and slow. We just did the left, now we're gonna do the right. Right side, extending up. Feel it here. Don't extend too much. The main thing about my stretch video, I don't want you to get hurt. I understand if you might get a few injuries while you're working through my other 5 videos during the week, but during the stretch video, it's about feeling better. It's about feeling good. So at any point you don't feel good in the stretch, step out of it. Reset. Figure out what works for you. Excellent. Let's come down. I'm going to drop my knees for a second. I'm going to do some child's pose. My stretch videos have definitely developed a lot. My first one I did, I basically just did all child's pose. Or I wouldn't say all child's pose. I did like 10 minutes of child's pose just because I couldn't really think of anything. And it's my favorite pose. Today we're not going to do as much. I'll probably get a couple minutes in here though. I'm going to come back up into plank. Not plank, I'm gonna come into tabletop. I'm gonna get to those bird dogs like I was mentioning. So last week I was kind of doing them extended. So I would kind of extend the right arm out first, and then I would do my opposite leg. And today I'm gonna try to just alternate them a little bit. I'm gonna work on doing a more active stretch. I'm gonna alternate left arm, right leg. We're just trying to get 10 on each side. The person that commented this talked about how good it was for getting their back nice and stretched out, and I feel it too. I definitely appreciated the alternating sides. If you want to hold it, you can hold it, but I recommend trying to alternate. We don't have to do it perfect. We're going for 10 each. We're just doing what we can. We're having a good time. But I'm extending through, trying to bring that line from my hand to my foot to help me really extend and stretch that back out. I'm slowing down in between my reps. You go as fast as you want to go. It's not a race. We're just showing up. As always, like I said in my previous videos, I try not to fart in these videos, but sometimes it just happens. If you gotta fart, you gotta fart, let it out. It is legal to fart wherever you want. I'm just kidding, I'm trying to have fun. All right, let's get a few more. I'm gonna increase the pace just a little bit for these last few. Bird dogs. Thank you for our nice friend in the comment section who gave me the correct term for this. This is an incredible exercise. All right, last one for me. And now I'm going to do some nice turns. I'm staying in tabletop here. And what I'm going to do it with my right arm first. And so from here, I'm going to just extend my right arm to the ceiling, kind of turning my torso. Slight turn, don't overturn. Don't hurt yourself. And after a second, we're going to peel through. Bring that arm down, push it through. Maybe you want to rest on the arm for just a second. Not just yet though. We'll rest after a third rep. We're just getting this right side nice and turned out. Good. Most of my stretches are just obviously traditional stretches that you learn growing up and through sports. And then obviously I'm adding in a good bit of stretches that I've learned through yoga and everything else. I just go to yoga once a week. I'm not a huge yogi, but it's a very important part of my week. I'm laying on my shoulder now. Maybe you want to extend that left arm back to your back for a bind. I'm going to hold this for just a minute. I love this stretch. It's a nice twist, twisting both sides of the body. I did 3 reps and then I came down to my shoulder, resting my head as well. And when we come out of it, you're going to put that left hand back down to push you out of the stretch so you don't hurt yourself or fall over. It's great though. And 3 and 2, back to tabletop. Back to tabletop. Let's come up, extending your arm up, twisting through that core. Should feel in your arms too. And let's come down for a second. We're getting 3 reps, and on the 3rd rep, we're gonna rest for a second. but we're gonna get these first 2 reps in with a little bit of pace. Holding up, trying to push our arms to the ceiling. You should feel it all through your torso. Stretch it out. Fall through. One more, stretch it out. And on this third one, we're gonna let that rest on our shoulders. If it's resting on your shoulders too tough, don't do this. Just stay in tabletop, try out some different stretches. Feel what feels good. I'm gonna take my right hand to my back for a bind. I'm gonna hold this for just a few seconds. I'm trying to keep my legs and arms at 90 degrees. Obviously, I'm probably not doing a great job at it. I'm doing my best. And 3 and 2. Come out of it nice and slow, using that right hand to lift yourself up. I'm gonna come down flat for just a moment. I wanna just do a little shoulder stretch. I'm gonna extend my arms out like a T. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my right hand behind my back, and I'm just gonna try to peel that shoulder. Sorry, not my shoulder. I'm gonna try to peel my elbow up to the ceiling. I'm trying to stretch out this left shoulder. Just nice and easy. Don't put yourself in an uncomfortable position. That's kind of uncomfortable for me, so I'm gonna come out of it a little bit. I'm gonna be careful. I don't wanna hurt myself. I just wanna push my tight muscles and ligaments just a little bit, just to kind of give them a little bit of relief, but I'm not trying to injure myself. I'm just barely extending that left shoulder up. I'm gonna come back down, extend that right arm out. Now put my left arm behind my right back, and then try to get that elbow to the ceiling. Stay in a comfortable position. One of my favorite references for one of my yoga instructors is find that juicy spot. Look for that juicy spot. Where do you feel like you're getting the most out of this? You're not trying to turn this into a workout. We're not trying to pull something. We're trying to release tension. Don't create more tension. Excellent. Just focus on that shoulder that's in the ground. I like to do a nice T at the end. And I just kind of press my shoulders into the ground. Just making sure I feel okay, making sure my shoulders aren't hurting. That feels great. And 3 and 2, we're gonna go into that pigeon. I'm gonna start with some cobra first, extending those legs out, kind of like a knees down plank. Then I'm gonna shift my hips to the ground, trying to get my pelvis onto the ground. Be careful here, you can hurt your back in a cobra. I'm just slowly extending my chest up, looking through, focusing through that lower back and my upper back, and you'll feel it in your glutes. You'll feel it everywhere. It's a great one. Nice cobra, just getting us warmed up for some pigeons. We're gonna take our time on those pigeons. I'm gonna go into child's pose for just a moment. I'm gonna hold it. You can do child's pose a couple different ways. You can kind of extend your knees out a little bit, kind of creating a wide hip motion. I like to do both. And then maybe when you need a different feel, maybe you bring those knees a little bit, and you sit on the heels a little bit more. Whatever feels good for you. It's a great position to fart. Just a tip, you don't have to do it. I'm honestly amazed that I still haven't farted yet. It's basically a Christmas miracle. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Just a reminder, as always, farting is okay. You're allowed to fart. I'm sorry if people in your house ridicule you for it. You should really get mad at them. I'm joking. Whatever it may be, just let it out. Let that tension out, whether it's coming from your body or your butt. I'm staying in tabletop for just a second, focusing through my shoulders here. I'm gonna do some cat cows. Ooh, I love cat cow. I'm doing my cat first, raising my spine up to the ceiling. And then I cow. Pushing my hips up, extending my core to the ground now. Just doing the opposite of cat. Back to cat. That'd be pretty funny if I just called it cat and opposite cat. We're not even gonna call it a cow. But it's cat cow. Just stay with me, guys. We're already 20 minutes through. It's crazy how fast time goes when you're just showing your body some love. One more cow. Great work. Great work. I'm gonna do some pigeons now. I think I'm gonna do right leg first. So be easy on yourself. Don't overextend like me if you're not ready for this. I like to push myself a little bit. We're gonna do a kind of a upright pigeon. This is where your hands are your foundation, pushing through your shoulders. That's why I like to warm up with that cobra. It's a shout out to Aben. He's the one who recommended adding in the Cobra in to get you warmed up for it. But I'm gonna try to be nice and easy here because I don't want to overextend through my hips or my back. If you're not used to this position, you can really strain yourself. So it's really about just being easy here. We're gonna add in some twist with the Cobra. Sorry, the pigeon. We're doing pigeons right now. If my right hip's not even really touching the ground, it's kind of levitating from the size of my leg. I got chunky calves and thighs, so they keep me off the ground. If your hip can go all the way to the ground, great. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Do what feels good. We do these poses for extended periods of time to try to let that tension really come out. And 3 and 2. Now I'm gonna do a nice pigeon twist, kinda. So what I'm gonna do here is kind of bring my back leg up. It'll kind of attach to my left foot. My left foot's at roughly a 90-degree angle, kind of making an S in a way. We're just gonna do twists both ways. I'm gonna start first by turning to my right. And the big thing about these twists, I hurt myself my first 2 weeks doing these stretches because I was using my legs to twist me and I would strain my back. I don't want you to do that. What I learned, definitely from going to yoga classes, is to use your torso to turn and then use your arms as tripods to slowly twist. Maybe your arm can come over here and while you twist, that's okay, but do not use the force of your thigh or leg to push that. You just do as much as you can naturally. We're just gonna hold it for a few seconds. I'm gonna add another step into the pigeon I really like. This one's a really tough position, so don't push yourself too hard. This is the 3rd out of the 4th part of each side of pigeon. I'm using myself as a prop. And I'm gonna come back center. I wanna twist a little bit to the other side too. We're gonna do both sides. You're really gonna feel it in this left hip if you're tight. I know my left hip's super tight, so I'm feeling it right now. But same thing, I'm not using my legs to twist. I'm just using my body. Use that torso. Excellent. And 3 and 2. Let's come back center. I forgot what this part of pigeon is. It's just kind of like a hamstring flex, but basically you're getting back into that right leg, and then we're gonna use our right arm as our foundation, and then our left arm's gonna come back and grab this leg. I might be able to tell you what this is after I think about it for a second. Maybe not. Just stay with me. Should definitely feel it through your quad. Nice quad stretch here. Yeah, I think it's called like a pigeon quad stretch. I don't know. We're just making stuff up today. Stretching's just made up. I'm joking. Oh, this one's tough. I'm gonna come out of that. Now I'm gonna do low pigeon. Low pigeon here, you're sitting into that hip. I like to extend my leg in a comfortable spot. Don't overextend it. And now we're just resting. It's the easy part of pigeon. I'm taking my sweet time. Both of these sides of pigeon are taking me about 3 to 4 minutes apiece. I love this stuff. I love doing these videos with you. I wouldn't really have this much dedicated stretching time every Saturday if I didn't have you join me. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm proud of you as always. This is the hardest part. It's just getting to the mat. Just getting here. Luckily, this is in the bottom of my house. All I gotta do is just get to the bottom of my house, and I'm here. I hope you have the same luxury wherever you're at, whether it's in front of your TV, in your bedroom. Find a spot. You don't need to go to a gym. You don't need some expensive trainer. You just need you. And 3 and 2, come out of that nice and slow. We were holding it for a bit. We're gonna switch over to that left side. I'm gonna do child's pose before we go over to that left side. Let those hips just reset just a little bit. Love me some child's pose. Stretch it out, stretch it out. All right, let's come up. Let's get that left leg forward now. Nice and easy. We're doing a nice upright pigeon. Extending that right leg back. I let my top of my foot rest against the ground. I'm trying to extend through, feeling it through my hip. Don't put yourself in an uncomfortable position. It needs to be comfortable. At any point you're feeling discomfort, you've gone too far. Sometimes if you're really tight and you're really sore, it's just always gonna be discomfort, but you should never feel like you're in distress, I guess is the best way to put it. If you feel like your body's about to hurt itself, retract, reset, don't push too hard. We're doing that upright pigeon. And in just a second, we're gonna come out of this. We're gonna take our time doing it. We're gonna sit down into that hip now. That hip that was up in the air, for me personally, I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna bring that right leg up. It's coming into my left foot. Like I said, now we're gonna do a little twist, but we're not gonna use the legs. So first I'm gonna twist to my left, and we will finish off with the twist to the right, but first I want to twist to my left. I'm using my hands as props. I'm not using my thigh as a weight or a pressure. I'm just using my hands to help me twist. We're just holding it for a few seconds. And when it gets too much tension, just come out of the stretch for a second, and you can go back into it if you want. I'm just holding it for as long as it feels good to me. This is all off the top of my head. I just do all these stretches as much as I can. I will admit, I've only been consistent with them because of doing these videos. So if they're helping you, I'm happy. I don't even care if you're doing a completely different stretch. As long as you're just giving your body 30 minutes to stretch a day, it's magnificent. Now I'm gonna stretch to the other side. You're gonna feel it in that right hip flexor. Be careful here, do not hurt yourself. We're just gonna hold it for a few seconds before we do that high intense exercise. Man, my blood clot leg is looking extra cool today. My veins are all nice and blue. That's how they've always been. I'm just observing it. Nice shade of blue. This blood clot is a testament to perseverance. There's nothing that's stopping you. It's just you and your way. I've let this blood clot be my death sentence for 3 years, and it was the biggest waste of 3 years of my life. But luckily, it got so bad that I found calisthenics, and I found myself on the way. All right, come out of that turn nice and slow, making sure you don't overdo that hip flexor. I'm gonna come back up, taking that hip up. My left leg is still in pigeon. And now I'm gonna just bring that right leg up a little bit. I'm gonna use my left leg as my foundation. And then I'm gonna take my right leg. Ooh, this is tough, guys. Take your time. You can hold that right leg up just a little bit. You can feel that quad stretch. Pigeon quad stretch. It's not easy. If it's tough, just stay in regular pigeon. You don't have to do this. I'm just asking a little bit more of myself during this stretch because I am tight. That leg workout got me tight. All right, back into low pigeon. Here we go. 3 minutes left, guys. It's amazing how much you can do when you just spend a little time caring for yourself. Hope you continue to keep showing up. I hope you keep continuing to amaze yourself. This week I'm taking off. Please just keep trying to do the videos. Obviously do the videos over again. A lot of them are very similar. My first 2 weeks I didn't have any breaks in, so those first 2 weeks of videos are a little bit tougher. I do like a longer stretch and then less breaks. But I decided to take a minute out of the stretching in the beginning and then add some breaks in because it's high intensity exercises. So I want your heart to reset just in case you're not used to this high intensity just yet. Holding that low pigeon for just a second longer. But yeah, week 1 and 2 are definitely a little bit more intense. And then I would say week 2, 3, 5. Sorry, 3, 4, 5. Week 3, 4, 5 have the breaks in them. So they're a little bit easier. Going back to that butt, guys, just doing a front fold. Nice and slow. Don't really extend I have a problem with just let my back kind of flop down and let my spine rattle or round out. Don't let it round out. Try to keep some integrity in your spine. You're just slowly inching your hands forward to try to feel it through your core, and then obviously you'll feel it in your hamstrings once you get a little bit deeper. I'm keeping a nice flex in my feet, nice bend in my knees. I'm just keeping it nice and easy. Who knows? I might throw some experimental videos at you next week, just testing out some workouts before we go into the next challenge. Like I said, I think it's going to be an anger challenge. This first 5 weeks was about moderation. Can I step myself away from my vices? Can I give my brain and my soul some relief and try to live in sobriety for just 5 days a week? And that challenge, I feel like I've succeeded. Now I'm going to try to carry this on the rest of my life. I hope it helps you, inspire you to do it for the rest of your life as well. Ooh, come out of that back bend. We're just going to do some nice wide stretch. I'm going to go center first. But yeah, something I learned about my moderation is that when I am sober during the week for Monday through Friday, I have a lot of anger built up in me, and Sunday as well. And yeah, that anger builds up. It's not a direct anger. It doesn't really make sense. Come out of that for a second. We're gonna do the right for just 25 seconds, and then we'll finish off the left, and then we'll be done. But yeah, so I think I wanna focus this next challenge on anger and helping channel that anger to let it out through these exercises, helping you understand that life is gonna be hard, life is going to challenge you. It's gonna make you angry. But the best part of that is realizing that there are ways to let that anger out. There are ways to find love and passion in your life. You just have to look for it. Come back a little bit. Let's go to that left side. But we'll see. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow in the podcast just talk about mostly injuries, and then I'll probably be talking about the next phase of all of this. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been the best 35 days of my life. Just being able to participate with you, finally use my personal training certification to get a little better. We're all done. That's Saturday. Go get some sunlight, please. Don't put on sunscreen. I'm not a doctor, but I know better. I'm joking. I'm not joking. Don't put on sunscreen. Love you guys. Bye.